All right, guys. So welcome back for another Monday motivational. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might seem a little bit scatterbrained tonight. COVID brain is real. I don't want to really talk about it. um, those of you guys that don't know, if you hear a nasty cough or me kind of going all over the place, yes, I am COVID positive, and yes, my whole household is COVID positive right now. So it's interesting, but guess what? I decided to still show up because I can work my business right from my bed and the living room and anywhere I can have my cell phone. And I was feeling well enough that I was going to make it happen. Plus, we just came back, right? So this is part of that no excuses. And to be honest with you guys, since last Monday, I probably have put in more customers and talked to more people in my messenger than I have in I don't even know how long. A long, 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 long time. And you know what's funny about it? I'm going to just tell you this because part of tonight's Monday Motivational is about posts, is about TikToks, about reels, and about stories. So we're going to hit each topic a little bit. And you guys, listen, no matter what Jackie and I bring to you and share with you tonight, I want you to understand that it's going to hardcore come down to the consistency behind it. It's going to hardcore come down to actually putting some thought into it and yes, work into it. Okay. You are going to get better. You're not going to know what you're doing when you start. You just have to start. Okay. You cannot build your business unless you actually start doing this stuff on a regular basis. And some days you may hit 100% of that. Some days you maybe just focused on one social media platform and that's okay. Just don't expect results from the work you didn't do. Okay? So be patient with yourself as you're learning, and if you don't know how to do something in particular, hop on over to hop onto YouTube and watch some videos about how to create a story or create a poll or create a reel or whatever. Okay. Like you see some people that are doing an awesome job. They're hitting it out of the park. They're grabbing your attention every time you watch them. Mimic them, but in your own way. Just create your own kind of momentum and your like that tailors around the things that you like, the things that you're interested in. And that's going to draw people into you. And it's going to be people that are very similar to you because they like what you're bringing to the table. Right. So, let's say I'm going to talk about posts. You want to go ahead and talk about posts first, since that kind of seems to be, we talked about posts slightly last week a little bit. So I don't think we need to spend a whole crap load of time on that. I think maybe reels and stories. And I know, Jackie, you have your own stuff that you want to bring into it. But I want to tell you guys why I think my posts were doing as good as what they were this week. Because people like to come along on a journey with you. People like to follow stories, right? And I always say, anytime I am posting my Flex Friday post, any kind of post that I'm putting out there that has to do with my business, products, promoter post, whatever it may be, I always tell a story in it. And I always like to share that because when I tell the story, and it may have nothing to do with the actual product, it may have more to do with something else, but the product is part of the story in some way, shape, or form, right? So this week, I started each one of my detox posts up with detox day, whatever day it was. Or if I didn't do a morning post, I did an evening post and I said, detox day 8, it's a wrap, or whatever, right? Like that's what I would have put today, but I did put a morning. You can do a morning and a night. You can update whenever you want to. But I shared a little something while I was posting that post. Today's wasn't super detailed, mainly just because I didn't feel good. But I wanted to get something up and out there. And I wanted people to know, yes, I was continuing my detox. I also want you to know something. I did not mention Lavelle or Thrive when I posted about COVID. And I did not mention COVID when I posted about the detox at all. Like I left those words and any mimic of any way, shape, or form out of that. Why? Because compliance would slap me on my hand as quickly as that post went up. And you guys, we got to be real careful during this pandemic. Anything that has to do with the two, if you want that post to stay out there, you better not even put the two together. Okay. So like I literally have left out COVID in as many posts as possible early on. I think we all probably slipped things in there here and there. I'm really sorry. I slipped things in here and there, and I got a lot of compliance emails, and I'd have to go in, I'd have to edit my post, or I would have to take the post completely down. So I have made it a point that I left those things completely separate. But I did get a lot of questions. Amanda, are you continuing your detox while you're, since now you have COVID? And I said, absolutely. In Messenger, absolutely, I am, because I want to get the crap out of me, right? I want to get the stuff out of me. And what do we take in the evening step of the detox? Balance and biotic. And those two products alone, taking on a regular basis, are going to help you rid your body of stuff so that you don't want in your system. So I absolutely am continuing my detox. I cannot wait to take my capsules again, though. Can I just tell you that? I'm like 2 days away. I need it bad. But I think my posts have done so good because, one, I've been consistent with them. Okay. And people want to know, they want to follow along. I shared my results so far. You guys, I'll be honest with you. I stepped on the scale beforehand. I did not take a before and after picture. I really should have, but I'm okay with that because my primary thing that I was going after wasn't necessarily for weight loss, but I can share other people's weight loss, posts. I have had some weight loss during the detox. However, one thing we said last week was, you want to under promise and over deliver. Okay. So I want people to understand that during this detox, you may lose weight, you may not. Okay. I don't want to put out these false premises that I lost 10 pounds and you're going to lose 10 pounds if you hop on this detox. Don't get me wrong. You can share that you lost 10 pounds. There's nothing wrong with that. However, you want to make sure in the language of what you're putting out there that you're not guaranteeing people that they're going to lose this amount of weight, or that they are going to get exactly these results or anything like that. I have stated very clearly that this is what I have noticed. I hope this stays. But regardless, I'm still going to do this again in 90 days because I'm thrilled. I have, and I'm not going to say it because it's, we are definitely recording right now, but I've definitely see some changes. You can go back to my posts and you can read about them. Right. And I don't think that it's bad to say, hey, I've had a lot of health issues going on. What I've noticed is, yeah, I'll say it. My period has been regular. Is that correlated? I don't know. But I can tell you that in a year, it hasn't been regular. And this was like it hit and it was the most normal, smooth, like great. And I was 8 days late, you guys. I don't think it's a coincidence, but it may be. I don't know. But I also had, the episodes of where my fingers were turning white. And I've not had an episode like that since I started the detox. And part of the reason why I wanted to do the detox was to rid my system of heavy metals. And why are my fingers turning white? And why are some of this stuff going on? Well, the doctor thinks that I had an overload, okay, of metals because I had multiple, not just, the C word vaccine, but I had multiple, all right, vaccines at one time last year at the exact same time as that, due to nursing school. And I've had issues with all kinds of stuff ever since. Okay. So they think that may be the cause. They don't know though. I'm hopeful that that was the cause because that means that if I can get the metals out, then, so forth. So anyways, I'm telling you all of this because when you're sharing your post and you're putting it out there, if you're just telling people about a product and you're trying to sell, they're going to turn the other way. They're not going to follow along the journey. But if you share about a product and you tell them, what you're experiencing, how you're feeling, what you're trying to get out of this, what somebody else might be trying to get out of this, educating them, keep it brief. You don't have to write a book. Like I write a book sometimes and it's probably too much, but you know what? People still read it. And I get inbox all the time. My messenger has blown up with questions this week. People come to me about questions about everything, you guys, everything of life with them because they feel like they can know me because the way that I share my journey, whether that's, my journey of being able to come home. To be honest with you, later on, I'm going to make a post. It's not going to have anything to do with Thrive because I'm mentioning the C word in it. But I am going to mention being able to stay home. I am going to mention, um, you know, not being at work right now. I don't know how I'm going to mention it, but I'm going to. Not being stuck at the hospital right now and knowing that I can be there wherever my kids need me. Like, you guys, those are key things that whether or not I'm saying, hey, why don't you join my business? People that know that I'm in this business know that I'm able to be home because of this. They know that's what I do from my other posts that may be a little bit more um, to the point, about joining my team or whatever it may be. So your posts are super duper important to have some kind of call to action, some kind of story, making sure you're educating people. I know Jackie does a way better job, and I'm going to let you, while I take a drink of my tea, talk a little bit more about posts. Engagement, you guys. You want your post to keyly have, please write that down. Give people a reason to want to engage with you. All right. That is huge. Jackie, I'm going to let you talk about posts real quick, and then we can go on to one of the other topics, because I could go
Bless you for doing this, even when I don't know what day you're on. Really interesting. They tell you to stay home for 10 days, and then 10-day detox is also 10 days. So you're kind of doing two things at once. But I will take over some stuff from here and just kind of give you guys an introduction, because we're going to talk a little bit about social media. I really use a lot of Instagram. I have my Instagram linked to my Facebook, which, if you guys have not done that yet, it is absolutely key. It's very important. It saves you a lot of time so that you guys don't have to do double work and stuff. I literally live and run my business, built my business on Instagram. And that's how I kind of kept in contact with a lot of my warm market, my old friends, my friends of friends, my friends of friends. And I post pretty much everywhere. And there are like 4 different places that I post. I mean, stories is pretty much like every single day. If you're not posting on stories, your business is not open. Your feed, of course. There's also lives, which are a little bit more for a long format. We're going to go over a lot of these. And of course, I want to talk about reels, because it's the biggest thing right now to help you just really get out there. And so I'm going to go over some of those things. So 4 places to post. I mean, of course, stories is where you can kind of post more often. You're going to show your personality there. Definitely, you guys, make sure you guys are sharing your talking and sharing your face, right? Show your face, show your real life, because that's what people are nosy, right? People want to see what you're doing. So show your real life, and blast the crap out of like transformation photos and like other things that will pull people in, right? A lot of mistakes that I see a lot of thrivers do in the beginning, and something I always tell brand new people coming in, I always tell them, if you see a transformation, if you see something that really motivates you, share it, right? So share not just yourself, because a lot of your friends, sometimes they'll, they hear you, but then like it might not even be a post about you that captures them, right? It might be a post about somebody else that you're sharing that captures them. I can't stress that enough, right? That's why we have to share other thrivers, and thrivers are super friendly. I know that a lot of new people come in and they get really shy because they're like, I don't want to post that because I don't know that person. So it is your job as a leader, right? For everybody that comes in, to let them know, hey, if you see transformations, go ahead and take it. If you see their name and you want to shout them out because you're excited for them, go ahead and do that. But it's not really necessary. Like, if you're going to post 10 transformations, you don't have to message all 10 of those people asking for permission. Like, thrivers are super, super friendly. So do not worry about that. People won't post that unless it's allowed. Like, their transformation won't even be out there circulating if you were not allowed to post it. So go ahead and take it. And then also, if your stories are not being seen, you can go in and see how many stories are being seen. What I like to do to kind of bust out of my algorithm is I will go and start viewing random people's stories. And I mean, not everybody goes and views who is actually watching their stories and stuff, but whenever I do that, I start to see more than just thrivers, which is really, really important. So stories is really where you can post a lot of stuff. I love what Amanda was saying earlier as well, as she was saying that she's posting about something and Thrive is incorporated into it, but it's not really about Thrive, right? That's kind of how you like incorporate Thrive into your life. That's kind of how you sneak it in. It's just really, people have to see these things, and subliminally Thrive is like being implanted, right? Every time they see something like that, they see the word detox, detox, detox. They see it so many times. Sooner or later, they're going to start dreaming about detox and calling you and messaging you and being like, hey, I had a dream I was supposed to do Thrive last night. I've had a lot of people, a lot of the team, like it's really because we blast so hard on stories, right? So stories is where you guys do a lot, right? You guys can do a lot of things there. Definitely show yourself, show your personality, show your life and what's going on, and and also talk about the products, the opportunity. Like it's really like all day you should be really posting in there, and every time that you do post, you'll get bumped up to the front of somebody's like stories and stuff, right? And another thing, harsh truth and reality is that if you're super um if somebody mutes your stories, they have to unmute you to see you again. So that is the harsh truth. I mean, I personally don't really mute people's stories, but I know that there are some people out there who just, they can't stand social media and they're like, oh my god, I'm just going to mute this person. If that happens to you, I mean, they're not going to be seeing your posts. Okay, so straight up, that is the harsh reality and truth. So hopefully nobody's muting your stories. But that's why it's so important that you don't just rely on stories, because what if you do get muted by somebody who is having a bad day, right? But feeds and stuff, like there's so many other places to post. So I'm going to move a little bit past stories and talk about the feed. So feeds, if you are posting on your feed, Instagram is basically your resume, right? You have like 2 seconds to capture somebody, right? Somebody lands on your page, your Instagram feed. If somebody lands on there, you have 2 seconds to capture them. They might scroll like a little bit and be like, oh, this person's not interesting, like next, right? People's attention spans are so short. That's why it's called Instagram. So a lot of the time when you post on your feed, you want it to look aesthetic, right? Just try your best to make it look aesthetic, because really your feed is almost like your resume. You want to post things that are very you like, we always talk about like posting about your 5 things. You guys have to figure out what your 5 things is. And, like it might take some time to kind of get into the swing of things and like really create something that is authentically you. But the beauty of it is you can be as creative as you want. You can make cool patterns. You guys can use Lightroom filters, like quotes. Something else I want to share about quotes as well. As cool as quotes are, as motivating as they are to you, sometimes they won't be motivating to everybody. And just know that it does get less engagement. Okay, so if you guys are posting, and you guys will kind of see, like make and when you guys post, like test it out a little bit and see what your audience wants, right? See what your audience likes a lot of. I noticed that, a lot of the times if I do like a family photo where the girls look really cute, like my kids, they get a lot of likes. Sometimes the ones with my boyfriend get a lot of likes. You kind of have to figure out what your audience likes to see. If things are just like some really good selfies, they will get a lot of likes. Some selfies that are like a little bit further and maybe it's not that cool of a photo, maybe it'll get less likes. You kind of have to just like experiment with it and just kind of test it out. So when it comes to your feed, I will stress, I can't stress this enough, it's quality over quantity. So really make like nicer posts and stuff that get like engagement, and just play around with it. And then also there is a little tool, like if there's posts that you don't really like, I mean, you can leave up most of your post. But if there's anything that you don't like anymore, or let's just say you wanted to post the promo because you wanted it to be on your feed, you can always archive posts. You don't have to delete things entirely. You can archive them and they can go into a different section. So that's something that I utilize a lot too. And I will go a little bit into that because, on your feed, like if you have an Instagram feed, right? You have your lives and you have your reels too. Your lives and reels have the option to stay on your feed, or you can like get them out and they go into a separate tab as well. What I like to do is if I do a reel or I do a live, I let them stay on my feed for a little bit. And then after a while, especially the lives, I'll go and I'll just like archive it so it goes off of my feed, just so it looks more aesthetic. Because, lives and reels, they're not as like, it's not like a photo where you've already edited, it's like perfect. Like they're not as perfect, right, for the feed. So that's a little bit of tips on aesthetics for your feed. And then I want to talk about lives, because they really did just change a little bit of the live function, and when to use lives. So if you guys are trying to educate your audience on, like, let's just say Jason Camper had an amazing CEO call and you wanted to go live with it, those are great ways to utilize your lives. Or if you want to talk about the brand new product that has come out, or if you want to talk about your detox experience, those are great ways to use your lives. It's really for something that is more long format, something that's going to go longer than, 30 seconds for sure. Or interviews that maybe you're doing like a live with another person sharing their Thrive experience. So when you guys do utilize lives, it's a good idea to engage before and after, just like you would on Facebook, right? Engage with your audience and like comment on people's things and stuff like that, and ask your team to hop on and help, right? Ask your team like, hey, I'm going to go live, can you please hop on and support? So those are things that can help to, like, bump up your live, and they're really for things that are long format. So again, like if you're talking about the new shake flavor and how much you love it, you can definitely go live with some of those things. But those are things that it's really like an instant, like, sharing of information. And then I will go and archive it later, because it's just kind of like, that's on and done with. I did one for the big BOGO that we had, and I archived it already, because it's just, that's obsolete, right? So you don't want to keep obsolete things on your feed, because it's just like, you don't need it anymore. That's already done. It's not available for your audience that might land on your page now, right? So there's that. And then also for reels. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of tips about reels, and just like getting into the hang of things and just doing it scared. Okay, so it is very, very intimidating, the real world, right? Because there's so many things out there. And what I would recommend for you guys to do is just go onto Reels and scroll and find which one is like a little bit easy for you to do, and get into the hang of actually using Reels and like trying to like just how to use it, right? Just how to use all the little functions, how to use the filters, how to add the sounds. Like just get used to doing that first, because if you don't know how to do those things, it's going to take that much longer for you to like make reels. So once you guys learn that, you guys can actually make reels and batch edit very, very quickly. And I'm going to give you guys some tips. Okay. So when you guys are making reels, you guys are going to want to use trending sounds. Okay. If you just use a sound, if you like, especially if you just do your own voiceover, like nobody's really going to see that except your feed, right? Your audience of people, your current followers. Random people are not really going to see that unless Instagram decides to show it to people. And the likeliness of that is not, it's not really likely. So use trending sounds. Another thing you guys can use is use trending songs. Okay. If you just use a random song that you just like and nobody's really making reels on it, you're really just posting it for yourself. So those are one of the two biggest tips for sounds and songs. And then also good reels have like a hook and a surprise, and of course a call to action. Okay, so those are some things that I can share with you. Like, a lot of the times people are very witty on reels. Like people are so creative nowadays. Don't let any of that get you like discourage you. Just copy the right cats, right? You guys can literally copy the right cats, make it your own, incorporate, even other business reels, like people who are doing other businesses, incorporate it with our products. That way, all of a sudden it's original, right? So those are some of the tips that I have for you guys as well. And it's very easy. Nowadays reels is so crazy, you guys. There's so many people doing reels, and it's very, very easy to get sucked in to being that network marketer. Okay. So try not to make every single reel about network marketing. You guys still have to show yourself. You guys still have to show other things that are going to pull people in. Like, maybe you do a reel with your kids. Maybe you do a reel with your spouse. Maybe you just do a reel with like your community of thrivers. Like, yes, it is a thriving post, but you guys still have to treat it like people are not going to want to just skip past you, right? So don't get sucked into just being that network marketer. I can't stress that enough. Okay. That way you guys are actually pulling in people who are not just network marketers. Because if you guys are only posting for network marketers, you guys are talking to people who are already in a business that they believe is the greatest, that they believe is just like, they're trying to recruit you. So it's just like, it's just two people trying to recruit each other. You actually really just want to attract somebody who's not thriving at all and who even doesn't even have any network marketing experience at all. Those are the people that you actually want to attract, right? And when it comes to that, it's always like you either lead with the products or you lead with the opportunity that somebody just needs a little bit of extra, work from home cash in their hands, right? So there's that. And then also another thing that if you, let's see, okay, so you can talk about your product, of course, and then what kind of value are you providing? Okay, so that is where you actually get creative with your reels. And this is another tip. This is something that I was thinking about, like, how am I going to explain this to you guys? When it comes to reels, I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see is that people are putting their fonts in places that people can't see them. Because with reels, and I picked up this capsule specifically for this like demonstration. Okay, so if this is your phone, you're going to want to put all of your text like right here. Okay. Like off to the side a little bit. You want to leave a little bit of space, like a little bit of space around your whole screen pretty much. But you want your capsule to be like right here, because this is where all of the font can actually be seen when you guys are creating a reel. Okay. So if you guys put fonts down here, it's going to get covered by all the buttons. If you guys put some fonts over here on the side, it's going to get covered by the likes, the saves, like things like that. And then up here in the corner, it's going to get covered by your name. Okay, so very, very important where you guys are actually placing it. There is a very small window of where you guys can actually post your text. Like, yes, that does make it a little bit more challenging, but it is very important because, I mean, when people are scrolling through reels, they're not going to get the message that you're actually trying to convey to them unless it's visible. Okay, so that is one of my most important tips. So you guys always imagine your little you're not your DFT, your capsules, and kind of put it on your screen and be like, okay, this is where I can actually put my text. So that's something that's very important. And then next, once you guys are actually done assembling your reels, I mean, I don't have an example for you guys, but like, there are some really easy ones to like, you just have to find some of the easy ones, do some text and put it over it. And then once you're finally ready and good to go, there are a couple things that you can do is one, you can pick a good frame cover. So you don't want to pick a frame cover where you're like making a weird face, right? You don't want that. Or you don't want to leave it at that. And usually Instagram is pretty good at picking one that's decent, but maybe there's one that you like better. Like, damn, why does my eye look like this? Right? So pick a good frame cover. And then there's also something that's called profile grid. It's in one of the options where it kind of like, it shows exactly what is going to show in the square on your feed. So also utilize that as well. Cause like, if you want to keep your reels on your feed, like on the feed that everybody sees, like that is something that is also key. So that's just a little bit about reels. Another thing that I do is like, I do not always wear makeup. I am not always in the mood, but sometimes I see a reel that looks easy enough. I will like pre-record some of it and I'll just save it in drafts if I'm not done, right? And I'll assemble them later and stuff. So those are things that I really like to do. I actually I am not a reel queen, but I'm going to share with you guys a couple more tips just in case your reels flop. You guys cannot get sidetracked or discouraged, because like it can take some time for reels to actually pick up for you. Some tricks, like one of the tricks I always like to do too is like, I don't wear makeup all the time. So sometimes I will record myself with no makeup and then I'll do the next half of it with makeup. So it's just not with makeup, with a filter. That's like a lazy reeler. Okay. So sometimes whenever those transition reels, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but sometimes you'll see somebody who's not wearing makeup and then all of a sudden they look really done up. I mean, you guys can even achieve that without having to do your actual face. Okay. So just by doing one without a filter and then doing one with a filter. Like one of my top reels was literally that. I was so lazy. I'm like, I don't want to do my face, but I'm just going to do one without makeup and then do one with a filter. And then it looks like I'm wearing makeup, right? So those are little tips and tricks where it doesn't have to take so long, right? And then another thing I want to share is that when it comes to reels, something that I really like to do and something that you guys can actually take note of is like make a list of reels that you want to make that are evergreen to your business. Okay, so what I mean by evergreen, evergreen means that anytime you post it, it's going to be valuable. Anytime you post it, it's going to be relevant. It's not going to be something that's, you know what, that's not even relevant anymore because that sale's not going on. You know what I mean? So I like to like make reels that are like that can literally lead into my business, and reels that you can continue to keep sharing over and over. Okay. And this is a little tip of how your reels can get more views, more engagement. You guys can keep recycling the same reels over and over and over because that content is still relevant. So, something I'm going to give you guys an example is like, if it's like Motivational Monday, if you have something like, if you have a crazy killer story about who you were before Thrive, like, like who you were before Thrive and how this opportunity has absolutely changed your life, and you can see that transition, like that is an evergreen reel, right? That is an evergreen reel that you might want to share every single Monday to show people where you've been, right? So it's something that you keep on sharing, and then like, you might have like a couple thousand views on it right now, but if you keep sharing it every single Monday, you're going to keep adding a couple thousand, and then all of a sudden you have 20,000 views on a reel, right? Like that is engagement. Like those are things that so keep on resharing. Even if you have a reel that flops, like just keep on resharing it and it will get shown, right? Instagram is going to start showing that to people. It doesn't matter if it's brand new or if it's old, but what matters is that, you do have evergreen content out there. So, I mean, there's ones like you can do before Transformation Tuesday. I have ones where I speak to the skeptics, and like, I have ones that are like, how do you know if you should thrive? And it's like, oh, your jeans don't fit, like you don't have energy all day, like blah blah blah, like maybe you should try Thrive. I literally share that. I can share that any day of the week and be posting around that in my stories. You know what I mean? So those are things that will help to boost your engagements and your algorithms and get your Instagram in front of other people who are like on Instagram. So yeah, those are some of my best tips for that. Cause I had some reels that I was just like, oh, that didn't get that many engagements. And then all of a sudden it kind of blew up. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even have to go and make a brand new one, right? I had the gold sitting right there. But it's all about when you post it, when like, if like this is another thing too, when it comes to your posts on your feed, when it comes to your lives, when it comes to your reels, you can always share those to your story, right? You can share it to your story. So I love to do that all the time. You guys will always see me if I post something on my feed. I'll post like new posts. I'll put a big graphic over it. So it's kind of like a peekaboo graphic where people are like, what did she post? And then they'll go on the post. So it's really like, how are you getting people to actually view your posts like anywhere and everywhere on Instagram? So hi, Amanda, I see you.
Man, I hope everybody's got like their pen and they're like, I'm writing down little words constantly throughout it. And I have some things I'm going to definitely add to each one of these. And I'm going to run through each platform, like each one of them as well after Jackie's done. Do you want to go on to TikTok?
I don't TikTok, but
You don't use TikTok at all, do you?
I do have one more tip though. Another thing, Instagram. I was kind of in a little funk on my posts on Instagram where I was just like, oh my God, like my posts, like I have like writer's block. And this happens a lot, you guys. Like if you guys ever feel like, I don't know, I'm not motivated, I can't think of a caption or like things like that. That happens all the time, you guys. And you know how I busted out of that? I literally just went to go live my life authentically, go get all the capture, like, I'm like getting all the pictures and stuff that I want. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, it's Jackie LVLA, at Jackie LVLA. I post a lot of carousels. So carousels is another really, really, really good way to get people on your Instagram. It's something that I saw. I actually learned it from, I was like on Reels or something. I was on Reels, and there's so many tutorials nowadays that you guys can actually like learn tips, right? People are like actually growing massive followings just by making reels about how to make reels, right? So somebody was talking about it and they were talking about posting carousels. And carousels is when you're posting on your feed, like let's just say you cannot pick one great photo, right? So instead you have like 10 or you have 5 or you have whatever, right? So I will post carousels of an event that I went to, or somewhere that I went where just like multiple photos of the same like event that I went to, right? So that is something that I absolutely love. And not only that, because my Instagram is linked to my Facebook, when you post a carousel on Instagram, it looks like you posted an album on Facebook, and it's absolutely gold. So if you actually go on my Facebook, believe it or not, I don't even use my Facebook at all. I do not post on my wall. Everything that I post on my Facebook is actually linked from either Instagram or Zoom. Okay, so if I do Zooms, I do like Zoom calls where I'm doing like where I interview somebody. That's actually just like linked to my Facebook. So people on my Facebook, they're constantly seeing me like being super active, but I'm not actually on there. Like I go in there to talk on Messenger, and I go in there a little bit to engage with the people who have liked my posts and stuff, but I don't actually like this helps me cut out like having to do double work on double platforms, right? So if you guys can do this, I mean, it'll save you a lot of time. It will boost your presence on a different platform that you're not even really there. Um, so posting carousels is amazing. I mean, I absolutely love it. And people scroll through and they like to see those things and stuff. And yeah, and you can even share your carousel to your story as well. So that is my other tip of, posting.
Okay, so I'm going to address the question that I know that a lot of people have right now, because I saw it over here in the comments a little while ago when you were talking about sharing. Okay, this is going to be a two-part answer to the whole algorithms question. Whenever you're sharing from another platform, yes, it may decrease, but if you're not being consistent and you're not posting, it's better to have it shared somewhere. Okay, so if your main platform is Facebook, then yeah, you need to have some, you need to have some posts that are specific and that you're actually working that. I want you guys to take this whole algorithms thing and shove it up the butt. Okay. I want you to quit not posting and not putting stuff out there in fear that, I don't know, how many of you would trade checks with Jackie right now? Yeah. Yeah. That's good, right? Listen to her. All right. So here's my point in telling you this. If you are not going to post on Instagram because you're too busy on Facebook, all right. Carousel is literally just adding a bunch of pictures, like to one post. So it'll just like, you can just scroll down through. So that's what the whole carousel part is. Like when you go to Instagram, you see the pictures, you see the dots underneath. Doot, 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 doot. Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. Yeah. I would just tell you that for me, I have my Instagram is actually linked. I have a business page, but I have to be very careful because you're not allowed to post Thrive on your business pages. So I don't recommend anybody go out and start a business page. Okay. I had started and it has not, like, honestly, I barely even post on it. It was just another way to get more people because I was maxed out on friends and I was trying to do giveaways, and I do other stuff on that page that's inspirational and so forth. But I don't recommend it, and you shouldn't, because I don't recommend it because you're probably going to get in trouble with compliance and say, "Oh, Amanda told me to start." No, Amanda told you not to start a business page. Okay. But anyways, my Instagram is connected to that. And so I can't actually share from my Instagram to my Facebook. However, I copy and paste a lot of my my posts from Facebook right on over to Instagram. All right. I just take the post and I go ahead and I just post it on my Instagram, and I reuse content. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some content that's going to do better on one platform than other platforms. So you need to keep that in mind. For me, though, if I've been really slacking, like I built a lot of my businesses on Instagram. However, I am not consistent on Instagram. So knowing that I'm not super consistent on Instagram, I repurpose content. If I do a TikTok, I repurpose that content in my reels or in my stories. If I make a post on Facebook, I repurpose that content into my Instagram. So I do that all the time. I recycle. All right. Just like she was talking about evergreen posts, I recycle those. If I have a really good post that I used on Instagram like a long time ago, I will reuse that. If I go to my memories on Facebook and I see that I posted really freaking good 2 years ago, then I'm going to reuse that content and I'm going to remake that post and I'm going to put something very similar out there again. It may even be the exact same post. I repost quotes all the time that gets hit because I know those posts got a hit, that quote got a hit before. is probably going to get a hit again. So I'll repurpose that content, and I repurpose those contents all the time. This is one of the reasons why, if you don't do it on Facebook, make sure you're hitting the save on the top of a post if you really like it, or you have your own post. You can save your own post, okay? You can save other people's posts that give you inspiration, that inspire you, whatever it may be. Put it in an album, a category, categorize it however you want. I save all kinds of stuff because I know that I'm going to need inspiration one day when I'm sitting there and I'm blank and I can't think of something to put out there, right?
I
So,
got one
oh,
more
go ahead.
thing.
Yeah.
Super important. This is really important. Okay. So the one thing is that having lots of followers to, blow it up on Instagram is an absolute myth. You guys do not
Yes.
need a ton of followers. That doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't even happen. There are people out there with millions of followers that can't sell shit, right? Just straight up, because they are not actually talking to people. So the biggest call to action is when you guys do have a post, go and dig through that post. If you guys can find one person out of the person that liked it or somebody that commented on it, you have done an amazing job, right? Just getting, like, talk to that person, right? That one person that you find that you didn't know that was even watching your posts or whatever, you have done your job, right? If you can get into their inbox, spark up a conversation with them, like one person, right? How difficult is that? We don't have to make it any more difficult than that, right? So that is the one thing, the call to action of all these great social media tips and everything, is to actually talk to people and go digging for gold in the people who are actually looking and seeing your posts and stuff, right?
I'm so glad that you actually brought that up, because I'm going to utilize talking about Twin for a second. When Twin first got started, you guys, first off, she didn't even have Facebook or whatever, right? And she barely is ever on even Facebook now. And if she is, she's under Oliver Tank. She lost her Facebook. And you know what? She didn't let that phase her, right? She didn't let that phase her. But she barely had followers on her Instagram. Like, she didn't have millions or thousands, or I mean, really, she didn't have that many followers on Instagram, but she was blowing it up. Why? Because she was consistent. Because she literally was on the ball. Like, she was putting out the content left and right. She was talking to people. So please understand that you do not have to have a massive following. You need to have massive action and talking to people. And my dog is going crazy out there attacking her. Hold on.
Twin is actually saying in the comments, she's like, she even lost followers too. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I lose freaking followers every day. Those are not the people I want. Those are not the people, right? Like, I don't even want them. Like, cool. My page is open. If you guys want to come see me, you guys can see me, but I lose followers all the time. And I don't like, if you guys, like, I hope that there's a lot of apps out there where you can see who like follows and who leaves and stuff, but I don't want any of you guys to get sidetracked on like who unfollows you. You know what I mean? Like, that is the biggest distraction. You guys don't need that kind of energy at all. Like, at all.
If you have an app right now that tells you who unfollows you and who follows you, please get rid of it. Okay, don't do that if you have to have it. But I think it's a complete waste of time. And I have never, ever, 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 ever worried if people unfollow me. Okay. Because the reality of it is that the people that unfollow me, they weren't my people. Period. End of story. I'm not going to change the content or who or what I'm putting out there to please the masses. I'm going to put the content out there, and the people that are right for me. Do you ever hear the saying, I'm probably going to jack it all up? Those that matter don't mind, and those that mind don't matter, right? So please, 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 I actually got it right. But please, guys, understand that you putting out what it is that is truly you, that is going to be, and what you want to share and what you want to put out, like, that's what's going to attract people to you. That's what's going to be that genuine. Like, people are going to know you're genuine and you're raw and you're real. And listen, I lost massive followers on Facebook because I was spamming my page, and I was doing it all wrong. And I think somebody said it over in the comments. I think Crystal said it a little bit ago. It's all a trial and error. You guys, don't worry about doing the things wrong. Worry about being consistent and talking to people. How can you get in front of new people? You see posts that are inspiring you. How can you recreate something similar that will inspire your audience? Because if you loved something, then you want to put it out in your own way, and you want to talk about it. You want to talk about your kids and your family if that's your thing. If you want to talk about whatever it is, you just need to make sure that you get consistent with it, and that you are talking to the people that also are liking it and loving it and leaving comments on it. And like Jackie said, going to that one person that you see every single week, they're liking your post. Like, if you guys don't do it, I certainly go and pay attention to who has been liking my stuff over and over and over again. Put them on a list. Make sure that you're showing them some love and you're showing them some appreciation, because that may not be right now that they're ready, but they're watching, they're following, they're cheering you on. So make sure that, you know what, a great way to kind of like, if you don't really know a follower and they keep on liking your stuff or whatever, go to their page, check out what they're all about, tag them in a post on another post that somebody puts out there, or something that reminds you of them. Tag them in a story of something that you see that reminds you of them. Say, oh, so and so, this reminds me of you. And like, listen, it's going to make you seem, well, it's not going to make you seem, it's going to make you be more thoughtful. It's going to make you show more love and appreciation, and people pay attention to that stuff, right? And then guess what? They're more likely to do the same to you. People are going to start to see you as that person that thinks of them, and you're just, I don't know, just being a good person. So I'm going to talk a little bit. So we talked about the post, being genuine, the calls to action, the carousels. I thought those were great things. Yes, sharing them, from repurposing them, we'll just call it that. Either if you only work Instagram mainly and you don't really post much on Facebook, what's it going to hurt to share it on over there? Okay. What is it really going to hurt? As always, I'm going to tell you, if you're running a business from your social media platform, you should be public. But again, you're going to hear contradicting things, and you guys are going to have different people tell you different stuff all the time. All right. So if your leader, your upline, whatever, told you not to do this, so be it. If they told you not to share because of the decrease in algorithms, I get it. All right. I get it. It's up to you. You do what you want to do. But if you are not ever posting something somewhere, just give it a try. See what happens. Okay. And quit focusing so much on, if you share something, it dropping the views of it, because really, if you put something out there and you're consistent with it, it's going to eventually increase your views of it because you got consistent. For reels, Jackie hit so many of the different, like so many things. I do want to make it a point that you guys understand that no, you do not have to do just dances. No, like on TikTok, I think everybody thought they had to dance or they had to lip sync or something. Listen, you can literally show a beautiful picture, and it could be whatever. I mean, obviously, the more authentic it is, I think that's the word I want to use. Or say you just snapped a picture of the sunset, original, whatever it might be. You could put music to that, and you could put like a short little story, like a short quote or whatever. Or you could go live with reels. And I just found a little box that I think I got in like a subscription box. It has a little box and it has these little cards on it. On each card, it has a little thing that you open up, and it has like a quote for a day, and you never know what you're going to get. So I actually thought, man, like when I have my voice back again, maybe I'll go on my TikTok and I'm going to repurpose to my stories, to my reels, to my Facebook reels, to my stories on Facebook. I'll repurpose everywhere. Okay. Because people that watch your stories may not watch your reels, and people that watch your reels may not watch your stories. Okay. So I like to repurpose it everywhere, but I'm going to open up those little notes and I'm going to share it. I don't know how it's going to do. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll catch on. Maybe it'll be a fall flat, but you will never know unless you try. And I do know, like on TikTok in particular, those quotes where people are just giving an inspirational message of some kind, they get shared a lot. And like Jackie said, utilizing the trending sounds, the trending songs, the same thing goes with trending quotes. Okay. So if you see or you hear a quote being over and over and over and over again, because it's a sound, okay, on TikTok, and you want to be more original, know that no, you're not going to get as many views. But if you feel like you can get consistent with every single day waking up and giving an inspirational quote, why not? Why not start it? What do you think you're going to attract if you got up every single day and you did that? You're going to attract people that needed that, that want that. And then that's going to be what you become known for. All right. So know that you can kind of create your own individuality on each one of these. I myself don't know. Maybe I've created like one or two reels actually, like just on that platform. I always take my TikTok and I repurpose it on my reels. Always. And Jackie doesn't even use TikTok. So you guys, I want you to know you do not have to use every single platform at all. I choose to use Instagram or TikTok to basically feed into my Instagram and my Facebook. All right. In my reels and my stories. I choose to take my Facebook post and utilize them into my Instagram. All right. Because I know I don't spend a whole lot of time there. Instagram is my primary. Okay. Instagram is my primary. And then I would say TikTok and Instagram are basically hand in hand. I work them secondary. So whichever platform you work on the most and that you're getting the most engagement, the most customers, the most people asking you those questions, focus there first, get consistent there first, and then find ways to feed into those other platforms if you choose to use them. Jackie, I can tell you're getting ready. You want to say something on that?
I mean, just exactly that is like if you're posting organically on a platform, that's obviously best because that's what that platform wants. But if you're not posting, like I don't post on Facebook, I just need to get something out there. So that's why I do what I do, and that works for me because I just focus all my energy into like Instagram. I don't know how if you guys are successful at like running two platforms really, really well. I think Kaylee probably is, even though she said that Facebook is her primary. But her Instagram is also fire. But just do what you can. Like I do take some of my reels and I slap them on TikTok, but you know, like you just do what you can. My Instagram is more of my jam where I like live there.
Yeah. I mean, and that's exactly it. It's like whatever platform you mainly focus on, just realize that you literally can use repurposed content for the other platforms to kind of fill in. Like I just told you, I literally just told you my TikToks, once I make them, I repurpose to use for my Instagram, like for the reels section. And you guys, you want to know something? I get paid for my reels when I do them on Instagram, because Instagram has this thing, and I don't know, I think it's up to like $800 now until like December 5th. Anyways, I didn't even know there was a thing. And I got a notification. I get paid for doing reels on Instagram. And I'm like, that's sweet. Of course, I got to put out a little bit more if I actually want to cash out on that. But it's not like, that's awesome, right? So that's another income that if you get consistent on doing it, you never know what's going to pop up or what kind of offers are going to be put out there for you.
I saw
Um,
that. I saw that somewhere. I saw some like influencers like on Reels talking about that. They're like, I just found out I'm getting paid for Reels. I'm like, what?
Yep. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you get paid, like I have it and I get paid through my PayPal. So it's like, that's a whole nother thing. But that's the thing that you guys are going to realize is like those more doors are going to open, the more consistent you get on doing certain stuff, more opportunities to create and do whatever. And listen, I'm going to tell you guys, some people are like, oh, I want to get to so much to get to creator fun on TikTok. Please, please, please focus on getting your customers and realize you're not going to probably make $1 million on TikTok from your creator fund that you're getting paid 17 cents on. Okay. So please understand that, yes, it's awesome to get these followers. What's more than getting followers is getting actual people that want to interact and want what you have. So focus less on the numbers and focus more on the quality and actually what you're giving to other people on those platforms as well.
I don't watch this now.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me mute somebody. Okay, so also, so you said stories, be informative. People ask all the time about like polls and stuff like that in your stories. Absolute anything to get engagement. Jackie, go. I could see it. I can always tell when she's got something she's got to say.
Oh, I was looking at comments, but yeah, I mean, I utilize all those little buttons all the time. I use lots of music in my stories. I use lots of polls, lots of ask me a question, lots of like, utilize all those things. I always like, and another thing, if you guys are just like thinking of like what kind of content to post, I always like to go to like different restaurants, tag the places where I'm at. Like, that way people are like, oh, like, where did you go? You always want to like give people some kind of value where they're going to ask you about anything that you're doing, right? They're going to ask you, what did you like at that restaurant? How did you like these things? Like everything, you just want people to be in your inbox about something. That way you can build more relationships for Thrive, right? So utilize all those little buttons. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you guys actually go, like I live in stories. I post a lot of stories, but on stories, there's always like options when you post something. I'm just looking at it right now, like all those buttons at the top, like get familiar with those buttons at the top and see what's available to you. I always like the sticker one because the stickers have like all those things, right? Locations, you can mention people, you can add pictures, you can ask questions, music, polls, you can even post your link now. Not just influencers anymore, because before you had to have 10K followers to post a link. They opened that up to everybody. And that was like, honestly, my goal on social media was just to get over 10K followers so I can post my damn link. And it's here for us now. So make sure you guys are using that. Countdowns I really like too, like, countdowns for the sales. Yeah, I see a lot of people saying like swipe ups. I know that Twin, she loves to timestamp her stuff so that you guys can see that she's up at the crack of dawn, right? Like that is something that is like very, very, like, just use these stickers and stuff. And if you guys did not know, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know this by now, but if you guys type in Lavelle into the stickers, we have a whole bunch of Lavelle stickers, the little 3 steps and like so many cool things. So I always like to incorporate those things into my posts and stories. And just something that people can engage with, right? Your goal when you post in stories is that people are going to ask you about Thrive, ask you a question, something for them to get into your inbox, right? And it just makes your life that much easier because people are coming to you, right? You want to attract people. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think, you guys, the stickers and the swiping up and all of that, like it, I can remember whenever we couldn't post a link and everybody be like, this sucks. I'm like, you know what? It's like a game changer. And if you just type into, like the GIF, if you just type in swipe up, because I know everybody always asks, like, how do you get the little swipe up things? Literally, it's the same way if you're trying to find an arrow or anything else, just type that word in and it'll be right there, right? So I'm going to wrap this up by saying 2 things. Actually, it'll probably be more than that, so I better not even note that. And let me roll back down because I told you somebody said it over here, and I want to go back real quick. Trending sounds and trending thing. Honestly, just look up trending sounds, trending audio, trending music on whatever platform it is that you're looking for, and exactly that hashtag, you will find it, and you will actually find influencers that teach those specific platforms and that share trending sound. I follow all kinds of people on TikTok that share new trends, new trend alert. So even new trend alert is one of the hashtags that you can look up, and you will find people that share whatever these trends are, and they'll show you, hey, is this transition a new trend? Is this sound along with this transition a new trend? And what I like to do, and I'll just show you, I will go on to my, I'm going to go onto my TikTok. Okay. And when you go onto your TikTok, okay, if you click on this little right here, these are all the things that you shared. So anytime, do you notice that this is new trend alert, new trend alert, new trend alert? The whole reason that I have that, sorry, checking my temperature. I'm pretty warm. I'm good. Yeah, I'm fever. not too bad. I'm fever. I felt like I was real hot. Thank you, babe. But I have the new trend alerts, right, from these people. Specifically, I really like this girl. She always is like ahead of the game, and it seems like they don't have a lot of them. And I can tell that she gets a lot of people that follow her that gets those because of the amount of interaction and stuff that she has on each post. But anyways, she's real ahead of the game. So when I find a new trend, like this was, I'll just click on one of them.
New trend for you, and it's really early. Talk about something that messes with your mind. Examples for you, follow for more trends and share. New trend
So
for
then
you,
what I'll
really early.
do when I see that is I'll click down here on the sound, okay? And then I'll go to one of the videos and I'll be like, all right, well, what's this about? Right? Like you'll have different people, but that's a new trend. Well, it's not so new right now, but that's a trend. And these people on each one of these give me different ideas. So I might watch a couple of those videos, get an idea of something that inspires me that I can possibly incorporate or do in that new trend. And then I'll put it out there. That sound is definitely going to help me get more views. Actually doing the transition or whatever it may be. Some of them might be lip singing, some of them might be like changing your outfit, changing something, whatever. And then I will incorporate parts of me, pieces of me, a story I might want to tell while I incorporate it that might have to do relate to that whole theory behind that trend. Meaning like maybe the song makes me think of something, or maybe what I'm portraying in that trend makes me think of something, and I'll like share a little story, like a tidbit of a story by editing the timing of the video. And the best example I can give of that is one that everybody is probably going to know if you are on TikTok. 1 second and I will show it to you, because I made this one when it was trending. 1 second, I gotta get back.
I do exactly that too, Amanda. I go on the sound and I like look at what other people have done on that sound, and it helps to inspire me on what I'm going to do.
Yeah, because I'm not super creative, you guys. I am not super creative at all. And I definitely want to show you this before we get off of here. Just to give a real example, honestly, because I think so many people don't really know how to incorporate that kind of stuff in. So hold on. I feel like, I guess it was longer ago than I thought it was. Lordy. Crap. I know that it was 10. I don't think that was the one. No, that wasn't it. That was fine. Sorry. Hold on. I know I'm gonna find it. Gosh, I've done a lot of TikToks. I've really slacked over the past couple weeks just because I haven't felt the best. Anyways, the whole trend was me sharing basically. Oh, hold on. I think this is it. Oh no, this was just my dad. I wish I could have remembered where it was. Darn it. I really wanted to show you guys because it was really good and I was really proud of it when I did it. Oh no. Oh no, but I did do this, and I don't recommend doing it very often. However, every single time I do it, I do get a massive new following of people. This is my sign. It's where I live and what I like. It's where I'm from and what I do. It's what I love. All right, so the stuff I put in there was my age, where I'm actually from, something about me, like which my kids, what I love to do. But anyways, it's a call to action to get people to follow you that are similar to you, right? So I don't recommend you do that a whole bunch, but I do pick up a ton of followers whenever you do it. But anyways, the one I was going to tell you, so I timed this stuff. It kind of tells a little bit about me throughout the whole transition. But I did the one like with Tim, that he is basically, we were made for each other. But I told a little storyline along with it. So I want you guys to understand just doing that is going to make such a huge impact. Plus you took the time, people want to follow along, they want to watch it. And that's going to, what is encouraging them to watch replays, because sometimes they don't catch all of it the first time. So they'll watch it again and then they may watch it again. Right. So we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to lose my voice. So I keep on talking. Plus I need to go take some medicine. I love you guys. I'm so glad that everybody's hopping on. I hope you took a lot of value. We have so much more that we probably could have shared tonight. But just remember this: if you get consistent, repurpose your content, stay focused on actually bringing yourself to it and bringing quality, not necessarily like the quantity, to your post, no matter what the platform is. Work on one platform to get major consistent and then see where you can repurpose out. All right. See how you can repurpose out. And if you really suck at reels and you feel that way, go and watch some YouTube videos before you pump some out, or go watch some reels to get inspired, and then just start practicing. All right. So thank you, Jackie, so much. I hope everybody has an amazing night, and we will see you guys next Monday.
You're
Bye, guys.
welcome. Feel a lot better by next Monday.
Me too. Bye, guys.
Bye.